Here goes, been misplayed by Stringfellow. Lindsey's going to try to go to second base, and he is safe at second base.
The Aggies could have padded that lead, but Cal State Fullerton catcher Craig Patterson guns down Greg Porter at third. Then in the top of the third, David Bacani tied it.
The pitch swung on. There is a drive. It is going back. Hello, goodbye. Solo shot for David Bacani. And we're tied at 2.
More Fullerton in the fifth. This time Spencer Oborn singles, scoring Bacani and Reed Johnson, and the Titans take a 4-2 lead. Matt Sorensen kept the Aggies off balance all game. He allowed just 2 runs in 8 1/3 innings. But Texas A&M rallied in the ninth, trailing by 2 with 2 outs and runners on second and third. His reliever Kirk Sarloos versus Chad Hudson.
The Aggie fans on their feet. Everybody standing here at the ballpark. The 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Cal State Fullerton advances in the NCAA College World Series. And Texas A&M goes home here in Game 8.
Game 9 between Rice and Alabama was delayed a day due to rain showers in Omaha. It's the first time a College World Series game has been rained out since 1985. But when the weather cleared up, the two teams were gunning to stave off elimination. And Alabama's Justin Smith came out firing. In the second inning, he got Will Ford looking, then got Jason Gray for his 4th K through 2 innings, to the delight of the Alabama faithful. In the bottom of the third, with the bases loaded, G.W. Keller got the scoring start.
Hard hit into left field. Williams going back, running catch. No, he can't come up with it. It's up against the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe at the plate. Hit first slide by Andy Phillips. It is a bases clearing double by G.W. Keller.
Meanwhile, Smith took a no-hitter into the 5th, and he got great help from third baseman Brent Boyd, getting Justin Berg at first. But 2 batters later, Jacob Baker broke up the no-hit bid.
Line drive, right center field. First hit of the game. Baker's on his way to second with a 2-out double. Scoring from second is Will Ford, and it's 3-1 Alabama.
But the Crimson Tide got the run right back in the bottom of the 5th. Kelly Gullidge singled, scoring Andy Phillips. The Bama lead is now 4-1. In the 7th, Damon Thames came to the plate for Rice.
There's a ball hit well to left field. Going back against the wall, gone! Hello! And it's 4-2, Alabama.
Now the momentum was shifting in the Owls' favor. Rice reliever Jeff Nichols was focused, striking out the side in the bottom of the 7th.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck out the side. Jeff Nichols, 1-2-3.
With 2 on in the top of the 8th, Rice coach Wayne Graham looked for more heroics from Thames.
Trying to come through for his team. 0-2. Well hit down the left field line. Way back it is. Gone! Damon Thames with a 3-run home run. And the Rice Owls lead it 5-4.
And the usually stoic Graham couldn't contain himself. But the Rice lead evaporated in the bottom of the 8th. A wild pitch by Jesse Kurtz-Nickel allowed Sam Bozanis to score and tie it at 5. Eric Smallwood had a chance to be a hero with 2 men on.
Here's the pitch to Smallwood, change into right field, a base hit. Ford comes up with it. Throw to the plate, He'll be safe. No, out, out, out.
In the bottom of the ninth, Alabama threatened again. This time it's Bozanich against Rice 8's Mario Ramos. Bozanich singles, scoring Phillips. Alabama wins 6-5. The Crimson Tide advance. Rice is ousted from the College World Series. And what would a baseball game be without food? The College World Series cooks up an array of mouth-watering delights. And to help the fans enjoy all the tasty options, Rosenblatt Stadium added a food court, complete with tables, chairs, and a big screen TV to keep up on all the action. Just one more example of Omaha making the College World Series special. Two teams that have been frequent participants at the College World Series met up in Game 10. It's the 10th appearance for Cal State Fullerton and the 17th for Florida State. And head-to-head in Omaha, the Titans have taken all three games from the Seminoles. Cal State Fullerton knew they had to get to Chris Chavez early, and they did. Spencer Oborn singled home Reed Johnson in the top of the first, and the Titans took a 1-0 lead. With 2 on in the bottom of the second, Brett Groves got it back for Florida State.
1-2 pitch, line drive into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. One run is in. They're going to send Jernigan. Here comes the throw to the plate. It will not be in time. It bounces away. Down to second goes Groves on the throw. Seminoles take the lead 2-1.
But Cal State Fullerton got to Chavez again in the third. But the Seminoles defense got him out of it, turning a 4-6-3 double play, ending the inning to the delight of Chavez's mom. The defense sparked the offense in the bottom of the third.
There's a high fly ball deep left field. On the run, Oborn and Johnson, and that ball is into the seats. It's a home run for Marshall McDougal. Seminoles take a 3-1 lead. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch, and there's a drive to deep left again. Spencer Oborn back-to-back home runs. Matty Diaz clubs it out of here.
More Seminoles. John Ford Griffin doubled to score Ryan Bartholomew and give Florida State a commanding 5-1 lead. As Titan fans search for some offense, Chris Beck delivered.
The pitch inside, swung on Chopper through the glove of the shortstop Groves, and scoring standing up is Bacani, and it is 7-2 Florida State.
But it wasn't enough. With a nervous mom barely able to watch, Chris Chavez goes the distance, mowing down the Titans in the ninth.
And the 2-2 pitch, fastball, strike three, called outside corner. Chris Chavez has done it. A complete Game 7 hit, 2-run victory. And Florida State, for the first time in the 1990s, has won 2 games in the College World Series.
Game 11 is a rematch of Game 5, when Miami handed Alabama an 8-1 loss. The Crimson Tide comes in at 2-1 and must beat the Hurricanes 2 straight to stay alive. If 2-0 Miami wins, they advance to the championship game against either Stanford or Florida State. With 2 on in the top of the first, Miami jumped on top. Lolly Esquivel singled home Bobby Hill to give the Hurricanes a 1-0 lead. Alabama's Kelly Gullidge retaliated in the second.
Swung on, there's a drive to right center field. It's in the gap, rolls all the way to the fence. Around second, on his way to third, it's Brown. They'll wave him home, and Brown will score. And this game is tied at 1-1.
Then Gullidge scored on a sacrifice fly by Darren Wood, and the Crimson Tide took a 2-1 lead. But in the third, Miami's Mike Rodriguez answered.
Here's the 3-2. It is going to be a line drive, going to fall in front of the center fielder. Brown is rounding third. He'll be waved home. There'll be no play at the plate. This game is tied at 2.
And after taking a 3-2 lead, Esquivel came up big again.
The 3-2 to Esquivel. Fly ball center field. Pretty well hit, but off the wall. Hill will score. Esquivel with a double. Seaver will score. Miami is up 5-2 in the 5th. He's done it again.
In the 7th, Manny Crespo thought he had added to that lead.
Payoff pitch from Murphy. Here it comes. Drilled to deep right field. Smallwood going back on the track at the wall. He leaps and he made the catch. He takes a home run away from Manny Crespo.
Miami closer Michael New came on in the 8th and shut down the Crimson Tide. This strikeout of Andy Phillips ended the Alabama senior's 36-game hitting streak. Alabama couldn't rally in the 9th.
Knocking on the door. Can New slam it shut? Curveball bouncer back through the box to shortstop Hill. Will take it himself to the second base bag in time, and that's it. The final out here against Alabama. The Hurricanes win it 5-2. It's on to play for the national championship on Saturday against the winner of Stanford, Florida State.
A familiar face was at the 1999 College World Series. In fact, he's always at the College World Series. Legendary Southern California coach Rod Dedeaux has been to every one of Omaha's 50 summer classics. Omaha's a special place for Dedeaux. After all, his USC teams have won 10 championships, and one game in particular stands out.
Our victory over Minnesota when we were down 7-0 in the bottom of the 9th, 1 out. The great Dave Winfield on the mound had one scratch hit, and he had struck out 60. A lot of people felt we were in trouble in that spot. But we did rally, as the history book would be, and scored 8 runs and won the ball game.
Game 12 match 3-1 Florida State versus 2-0 Stanford. The Seminoles must beat the Cardinal 2 straight games to reach the championship game and face longtime rival Miami. On the other side, Stanford comes in on a roll. The Cardinal has benefited from excellent pitching and look for more in this game. Stanford loaded the bases in the bottom of the 1st. Josh Hokasang's double brought home Craig Thompson and Jeff Rizzo, giving the Cardinal a 2-0 lead. Still in the 1st, Nick Day added to the lead.
1-2 pitch on the way, swung on, hit on the ground to the left side. Shortstop Groves makes an excellent play, guns it across the diamond, but it pulls the first baseman off the bag, so 1 run will score for the Cardinal.
In the 2nd, catcher Damian Alvarado gunned down Chris Smith, and everything was going Stanford's way. But finally, in the top of the 4th, Ryan Bartholomew put the Seminoles on the board.
The 1-2. Little chopper. It's going to be charged by Gall. It is fair. They only make a play at first. They get Bartholomew. It is 3-1 on the fielder's choice.
After Florida State made it 3-2, Stanford pulled away in the bottom of the 5th. Alvarado single scored Hokasang, making it a 4-2 lead. Later in the 5th, Stanford loaded the bases for Eric Bruntley.
Here's the pitch, swung on. It is a chopper. The third baseman, it goes into center field. Scoring standing up is Alvarado. Scoring standing up as well, sliding in, is Nick Dades. A score of 6-2.
But the Seminoles refused to fold. In the 6th, Marshall McDougall's double to deep center scored Bartholomew, and Stanford's lead was cut to 6-3. Florida State made it 6-4, and the momentum was turning.
Now here's the stretch in the 1-1 pitch, and there's a drive to deep right field. Back goes Barchard. This ball is gone. We've got a tie ball game as Sam Scott nails it into the right field bleachers. Florida State and Stanford are tied at 6. Sam Scott with his 10th home run of the year.
Then in the 7th, John Ford Griffin hit into a 4-6-3 double play. But it scored a run to make it 7-6, and for the first time all night, Florida State had the lead. And Matt Diaz patted it.
The 2-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball to center field. Youth and Borchard going back to the track, now to the wall. It's off the base of the wall and rolling away. Here comes run number 8 around to score. And it's a double for Matty Diaz.
Florida State got the final out and survived to play another day. The Seminoles staved off elimination once again and forced a rematch with Stanford. Both Stanford and Florida State know the consequence of Game 13. The winner moves on to face Miami in the championship. The loser must wait till next year, and neither team wants to wait.
This is baseball. We cotton pick and play baseball. We're gonna have fun. Golly bum, I wish I could play today. My clubs weren't good enough. We're gonna play. Just get out there and play Florida State baseball. Just get after it. No matter what happens, we roll through it. I want to play tomorrow. I don't want to go home. I want to play tomorrow. We got plenty of time. Get yourself good and loose. Go to work.
As Miami coach Jim Morris and the rest of the Hurricanes looked on, Stanford and Florida State took the field for what would become a game for the ages. With runners on first and second at the top of the first, Joe Borchard put Stanford on the board with a double. Jeff Rizzo came around to score, and the Cardinal took a 1-0 lead. The score moved to 2-1 when Florida State's Ryan Bartholomew came to the plate.
The 2-2 pitch, changeup hit high to left field. Back goes Nick Day to the warning track, to the wall. It's gone. Home run. Ryan Bartholomew ties up this ball game with the wind blowing out to left.
Later, Marshall McDougal also went deep.
And the 0-1 pitch, fastball, high fly ball to deep right. Borchard back at the warning track, turns around, it's gone in the second row of the right field bleachers against the wind. Marshall McDougal hits a 2-run shot. The Seminoles up 5-2.
And the Seminole fans insisted on a curtain call. Florida State continued its roll, leading by 4. Sam Scott scored on a single by Chris Smith, and the lead grew to 7-2. But Stanford loaded the bases in the top of the 7th.
Here's a pitch swung on. There's a drive to left field. It might be out of here. It could be. It is gone. It is out of here. A grand slam home run for John Gall, and Stanford within 1 now at 7-6.
Still in the 7th, Stanford continued to rally.
2-2 pitch from DeBlasi, swung on, hit hard and deep out to left center field. Going back is Smith at the track. He makes the catch. No, it bounces out of his glove. He hits against the wall. 1 run will cross the plate for the Cardinal. Alvarado coming around. It's a triple for Nick Day, and this game is tied at 7 runs apiece.
The next batter was Edmund Muth.
Here's the stretch. The 1-2 delivery. Kerr swung on. There's a drive. Right center field. It might be out of here. It could be. It is. A 2-run home run for Edmund Muth, and Stanford takes the lead 9-7.
In stunning fashion, the Cardinal put a 7th spot on the board in the 7th. But with 1 on and no outs in the bottom of the 9th, Florida State's Kevin Cash countered.
The stretch. And the 3-2 pitch, high fly ball, deep left center. On the run, Day and Muth to the track, to the wall. Tie ball game! Tie ball game! Kevin Cash has banged it out to left center field. And the Seminoles have come back. It's 9-9.
This game would go to extra innings. Now it's Stanford's turn again. With 2 men on, Josh Hokasang singles to give the Cardinal a 10-9 lead in the 10th. One batter later, Damian Alvarado added to that lead.
Swung on, there's a bouncing ball up the middle, and the second baseman has it. He'll throw home, and the run will score, and it's now a 2-run lead for Stanford at 11-9 here in the 10th inning.
As Stanford celebrated, Florida State dug deep in the bottom of the 10th.
Here comes the wind and the 3-2 pitch, and there's a drive to deep left on his horse's day, and Muth to the track to the wall. It's gone. And the Seminoles pull to within 1. Marshall McDougall makes it 11-10. And Sam Scott, he hit a game-tying home run last night to help force this deciding game today. Here's the pitch, high fly ball, deep left. Back goes Day and Muth. It's gone. It's a tie ball game. It's gone. Sam Scott's done it again. It's 11-11. Florida State has tied it up. Holy mackerel. Do you believe it?
Come on, baby. Make him dirt. Come on, baby. Good pitch.
With 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 13th, Florida State had Stanford on the ropes.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and there's a high fly ball deep left field. The ball game is over. It's a home run for Carl Jernigan. A 3-run homer for Carl Jernigan. Florida State's going to play Miami for the national championship tomorrow as Carl Jernigan hits his 4th home run of the year. And the Seminoles have beaten Stanford in 13 innings. The final score, Florida State 14, Stanford 11, and they're partying at home plate.
If you'd like to learn more about that incredible baseball game or other facts concerning college baseball, log on to NCAAbaseball.com. When the 1999 College World Series began, 8 teams set their goal to win the NCAA championship. 6 of those teams have been eliminated, but 2 teams still have the opportunity to realize their dream. Florida State and Coach Mike Martin desperately seek their first College World Series title, while Miami coach Jim Morris would love to put the Demons from the agonizing 1996 loss to LSU behind them. The stories continue. These 2 programs know each other well. During the regular season, they met 6 times, with Miami winning 5 of them, and 4 of those games were decided by 1 run. And though the rivalry is intense on the field, to a man there is a mutual respect and admiration. When Mike Martin was hired as head coach at Florida State, Jim Morris was the first person he hired to be his assistant. The most pressing issue for Florida State? Who would pitch? In the 13-inning epic against Stanford, Mike Martin depleted his staff, calling on 7 pitchers.
How would y'all feel if you're playing for the national championship against a team that's beating you 5 out of 6 and you ain't got an arm? But I'm gonna tell you what, it's an uphill battle. It's been an uphill battle, but thank the good Lord we're gonna play for it tomorrow.
So to the shock of the 23,563 in attendance, Martin went with Blair Varnes. The freshman right-hander was thought to be done for the season following an ACL injury suffered during a post-game celebration in the Super Regional. In fact, surgery to repair his ACL was scheduled for 3 days after the conclusion of the College World Series.
We need to play every inning like it's our last. Every at-bat, swing the bat, play good deep. Let's bring home a championship. What time is it?
Game time!
1, 2, 3.
Let's go!
In the bottom of the first, Miami looked to get on the board early.
There's a high fly ball to right. That's going to score a run, but Matty Diaz will come up and make the catch. Tagging at third is Hill. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is out at the plate. What a great job by Jeremiah Klosterman. He blocked home plate, and Bobby Hill couldn't get to it.
So with the defense providing the spark, Florida State got on the board first. John Ford Griffin's single scored Brett Groves, and the Seminoles took a 1-0 lead in the top of the second. But that lead didn't last long.
Fly ball left field. Is it going to be deep enough? Oh, you better believe it's deep enough. This score is tied as Kevin Brown has knocked it over the bleachers and out of the ballpark with home run number 22, RBI number 63. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the second inning.
Then Florida State gets it right back.
There's a drive to deep center on his horse as Brian Seaver drifting back to the track. It's out of here. Sam Scott spanks his third College World Series home run, and the Seminoles retake the lead. It's 2-1.
Seminoles held that lead until the bottom of the fifth. Chris Clute singled to right, and Marcus Nettles came across to tie the score at 2-2. After Miami took a 1-run lead in the fifth, the Canes loaded the bases for hot-hitting Kevin Brown.
Well, I knew this was going to be a pivotal moment in the game. I mean, 2 outs, bases loaded. We had them on the edge. We were ahead by 1, I think, at that point. And I was just looking to make contact.
Swung on, ripped into right center field. It is going to drop. 1 run scores. Here comes Crespo. Up with it is Diaz, rounding third Lully. He's being sent home. A 3-run double by Kevin Brown, and the Hurricanes lead at 6-2.
Of course, when he hit the double to knock in 3 runs and put us ahead by 4 runs, I really felt in my mind we're going to win from that point with our bullpen.
But the Seminoles did get to the Miami bullpen in the 7th. With runners on second and third, Kevin Cash singled to left, and the Hurricanes lead was cut to 6-3. And Florida State continued to battle.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed. First base is occupied. The ball goes all the way to the backstop, and scoring a run is Sam Scott.
And after Ryan Bartholomew tripled in the 8th, John Ford Griffin brought him home with a sacrifice fly, and the Miami lead was trimmed to 6-5. And Mike Martin hoped his team still had some energy left.
I had flashbacks of '96, 1-run game, 9th inning. This time we were a home team and weren't visitors. I looked in the dugout a couple times and I saw all 3 coaches, and they were just tight as they could be. And I was just thinking to myself, God, please let this be our season. We deserve it. We worked hard for it. Let one fall for us this time.
And Mike New was the man to do it for the Hurricanes. The Miami closer started the 9th by striking out Scott. But the Seminoles were still optimistic. But with 2 outs, Kevin Cash was Florida State's last hope.
It kind of crossed my mind, we're up by 1 run. You know, I don't want to give up that home run to lose the game, but once I was out there, I felt like I regained my composure and I stayed focused. And that last pitch, you know, it's tough when you know you're 1 pitch away from winning it all.
The right-hander rocks. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Miami's done it. They've won it. They've done it. 1982, 1985, 1999. The Hurricanes are the champions of college baseball. Final score, 6-5. And the Crushers being crushed under the pile. They did it. They did it.
I looked at all the coaches and we hugged, and then went around on the field and hugged the players and everything. And from that point, you know, it's a kind of a numb feeling. I don't really know how you feel. It's, you know, you're so excited. There's so much pressure on you in the dugout before that last pitch is thrown that you kind of go numb when you do get it done.
It's incredible. You know, it's a victory, and then, you know, you sit down and think about it, and you're like, you know, what did we exactly accomplish, you know? What is it, you know, because it doesn't sink in, because it's so great. And it's awesome. It's just you sit there and you think about everything you've done all year, and then you really come to appreciate everything that's happened and what you've had to do to get where you're at.
It was just a great sense of relief for everybody. I mean, we had come so far, and I'm sure it was a great relief off the coaches' shoulders and everybody. I mean, it was just a great feeling all around.
Felt good to finally get the monkey off the back of, you know, it being so long since we won a national championship. And I'm proud to be in the tradition of the University of Miami and, you know, continue that success with the national championship.
Just going to the World Series every year is not satisfactory at that program. They want to win it. It's a very, very high standard. For me, you know, it gives me a chance to say, well, we've won one and hopefully we'll get another one.
Everybody back to Miami, we love you!
The Miami Hurricanes win the 1999 College World Series, helping Omaha celebrate 50 golden years of baseball.